All right, I got 3 factoring problems for you today. We're going to do factoring by grouping. This is with 4 terms, okay? And we're also going to try to color code these problems as we do it to help you out. All right, we have 3 problems for you today. We have an easy, a medium, and a hard. So there's timestamps in the video player down below. You can drag the red dot to whichever one of these you need. Maybe you have a problem that looks like one of these. Maybe drag it to that one. Try to see how I do it. That way you can do your problem. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, start with our easy problem here. This is number 1. We have x to the 3rd power minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 10. Now, before we can do the grouping, we need to make sure this is in the right order. And the order depends on the exponents. So it should go in descending order. In other words, 3, 2, 1, none. All right, if it's in that order, you did it right. If it's not, you might have to put it in the right order, and then you should be able to factor this. So this one, if you look here, we need to put this in its groups, right? It's factored by grouping. So I'm going to group the first 2 terms and then also the last 2 terms just with some parentheses there. All right, now I need to look at the groups. If I look at my first group, I'm trying to figure out what is the largest thing I can take out of this group. And the largest thing, or the greatest common factor that these 2 terms have, is going to be x squared. All right, this has 3 x's, this has 2 x's. Since there's no other numbers with this one, the biggest thing I can take out is 2 x's from both of those terms. So I'm going to say x squared out in front. I'll use the blue for my front numbers. And then I'll make a red group, all right? The red group is going to be what's left over after I take out x squared. You can almost think of this as being like divided by x squared. Okay, kind of like that, divided by x squared. So obviously x to the 3rd divided by x squared is just x, all right, just x. Over here, negative 2x squared divided by x squared is negative 1. Negative 2, excuse me. Negative 2, the x squareds cancel, the negative 2 comes down into the red group, all right? The second one that we're going to do, when we do this, what I want to take out, eventually it should leave me with what I currently have in this group. What I mean by that here, I'll show you. I can take a 5 out of these groups. So again, that's going to be my blue color. I'm going to take out a positive 5. And then left over, again, I'll put this in my red here. Left over, 5x divided by 5 is just x. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. So do you see how that's the same, right? X minus 2, x minus 2. Okay, that's important. If you don't get the same number, then you did it wrong. So make sure that you take it out in such a way where you get this parentheses set and this parentheses set to be the same. All right, then all I have to do is write out my 2 different kind of colors here, right? X squared plus 5 is going to be one set. X squared plus 5, and you can put that in parentheses. And then you're only going to write one of the other group in parentheses, in this case our red group. That's going to be x minus 2, right? And then all that together is going to be your answer. X squared plus 5 times the quantity x minus 2. All right, our medium problem here, number 2, says 45x to the 3rd power plus 15x squared plus 9x plus 3, okay? So this one, what we need to look for first is actually a GCF. I should have done this in the first problem. You should always look for a GCF, a greatest common factor, when you are doing factoring, okay? In this case, I'm seeing that all these are divisible by 3. So I like to actually put divided by 3 under each of my terms, all right? And then what I'm going to do is take that 3, I'm going to put it outside a big set of parentheses that kind of spans the whole problem, and we're going to do the division. 45 x to the 3rd divided by 3 is now 15 x to the 3rd. 15 x to the 2nd divided by 3 is now 5 x squared. 9x divided by 3 is 3x, and 3 divided by 3, of course, is 1. All right. Now what we have to do is just the exact same thing that we did in our very first problem. All right, and what I need to do then is take my first 2 and my last 2 terms and put parentheses around them. Okay, eventually what's going to happen is this 3 is going to come down to be in our answer, but we need to do one more line of work before that. All right, let's see here. If in this first group, I know I can take out a 5 for my number, and also this has 3 x's, this has 2 x's. The most I can take out of both is 2 x's. So we're going to, I should use my colors here, we're going to divide each of these by 5x squared, 5x squared. Okay, when I do that, what's left over is going to be in my first term here is 3x, all right, 3x. So take out a 5x squared using my colors here, and left over in that first one is 3x. In the second one, what's left over? Well, 5x squared divided by 5x squared is just 1, okay, it's just 1. So that's going to be plus 1 here. Plus 1 in my red group. Now you'll notice, remember in my last problem that I said we want the second one, what's left over, to be the same as this second set of parentheses? Well, right now they already are the same. So what can I take out? What can I take out to make this also 3x plus 1? well, you're going to say you can't really take out anything, but you actually can. What can I multiply this by so it doesn't change? And that's going to be 1, all right? 1 times that doesn't change it. So we can really just say we're taking out a 1, all right? And then your answer is going to be the 3 from our GCF at the beginning. We're going to write that out front, and then we're going to put a blue set of parentheses that says 5x squared plus 1. And then a red set of parentheses as 3x plus 1. You only write one of those, 3x plus 1. And then all that together, including the 3 out front, is your answer. All right, guys, number 3 is kind of our tough one here, all right? It says 20x squared plus 30x minus 4xy minus 6y. Now, you remember in my first one, I said this needs to be in the right order, and it's kind of hard to tell the order of this one is based on its exponents because it has x's and y's, all right? But this works pretty much the same way. Whenever you get a problem like this, it's probably going to be in the right order to begin with, all right? So we're just going to assume this is in the right order, and we're going to do it the same way we did our last couple, all right? So first off, I need to look for a greatest common factor, and I'm seeing these are currently all even, so I can take out a 2, all right? So let's do that. Let's divide each of these terms by 2. And when I do that, I'm going to take my 2, put it out front, a big set of parentheses, and do the division. This is now 10x squared plus, this is going to be 15x minus 2xy minus 3y. Okay? All right, and then what we need to do is group both my first 2 and my second 2 terms left over on the inside of those parentheses. All right, so group the first 2, group the second 2. Now let's look at this first group here. What I see is a 10x squared and a 15x, all right? So I know, again, they both have a 5 in common, so we can take out a 5. Maybe I'll do that here in blue. Take out a 5. And they also have, this is x squared and this is x, so they at least have one x I can take out from both. So I'm going to take out a 5x, and when I do that, what's left over, if I do this division, 10 divided by 5 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. And in this one, 15x divided by 5x is just going to be 3. Okay, 2x plus 3. All right, now if you remember, I need my second group to be the same. Let's see if we can do it kind of mentally here. What can I take out of this group? Well, I'm noticing I need something that's going to leave me with positives. Right now, these are both negative, so I better take out something negative. Do that in blue, take out negative. And then I also need to take out, let's see, this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 2, this is a 3. So maybe just a negative, one of the letters, and that's probably going to be the y. These both have just a y in common. This one has an x, this one doesn't. So I think I can only take out a y. All right, negative y. I'll put it up here so you can see what's going on. Negative 2xy divided by y. Well, here just the y's are going to cancel. All right, and that's going to leave me with 2x. 2x. Oh, that should be red. That should be red. 2x. Now it's purple. All right, and then for the second one, negative 3y divided by y is just going to be negative 3. But actually, this was, we took out a negative, so it's going to be a positive 3. Negative divided by negative is a positive 3. And it'll look like this, okay? So what we need to do to write our answer now is take out this 2 out front, and then our blue group, 5x minus y in one set of parentheses. In our red groups, we just write one of those, 2x plus 3. Since they match up, we know we did it right. And all this together is your answer. Did this video help you out on factoring? If it did, please help me out by liking this video down below and also subscribing to my channel. In fact, guys, if you don't know, I'm the math professor, Kyle Martin, and this is a channel where we do your math homework fast and accurately. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe down below. That way we can make more content for you in the future, just like this one. See you in the next one, guys.